comments? Join us live right here on the Fear Fishing Experiment. Join us live right here on the Fear Fishing Experiment.
Report suspicious activities and call 911 for immediate response. Expect delays, searches of personal property, and restricted access to public buildings. Expect traffic delays and restrictions.
Holy jumping, that's a football man on a smallmouth bass. Hold that up, shot! Oh my gosh, that's a big fish.
You know what? It turned out into like cinematic genius. It's just beautiful.
The idea is just keep rolling.
Navigating your way on and off the water. Now, here's your host, Ian West.
Good evening and welcome to the Fear Fishing Experiment, number 105. Big show tonight. I'm joined by my usual culprits, Woody, Sean, and Mr. Mark Hunter.
Yo, how you doing, guys?
Hey.
How's everyone doing tonight?
Oh, living the dream.
That's the difference of being in studio and being on Zoom.
Yeah, I'm living the dream too, man, but it's somebody else's. I don't know what's going on.
That's funny. Woody, good thing you did that Zoom test because Zoom is no longer free.
That's right.
They
Really?
curveball us there. Yeah, that's why we got kicked out.
Ah, they're not doing that 40-minute no time limit now. Or
Yeah,
they are doing it now.
They gave us 40 minutes and then booted us straight out.
Yeah, so let's get this lined up for everybody tonight. All the live comments for the show that you see on your sidebar, they're going to come from YouTube only, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, so if you guys want to get your comments up on screen, pop over to the Ian West Fear Fishing YouTube page.
Fear Fishing.
And the Fear Fishing YouTube page, and join there, and that way we can see your comments live up on the screen. We're still watching comments live on Facebook. Don't worry about that, but make sure you go to the original post. That way we can see your comments. And don't forget to like and share.
Yeah, like, share, subscribe on YouTube.
There is a little bit of a delay too, because I can see it on Facebook now, and maybe a 30-second delay or so, if that even.
There's only a delay for us, Mark, not the viewers at home.
We'll just see their questions a little bit later than they post them. That's it.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, that's what you're working on.
Yeah, I got it on here.
That boy. Are you guys? How are you guys doing? Good shape?
You know what? I'm really happy turkey hunting's going because I really wanted to fish. Hey, I was like, social distance. I'm gonna go find a boat ramp. But now that turkey started, I'm okay with it. Yeah, the pressure's off to fish right now. Yeah.
Sorry, I keep flipping up. Dave Bairstow and Kyle Crothers are lighting up the group chat on me.
Muted.
Shout out to Dave and Kyle.
Hey, why aren't they watching the show? What's going on?
They're watching the show, but they're chatting along in our group, our Ponderosa group chat.
Nice.
You guys are doing all right. Today is the first day I've been disappointed about not fishing. I've been hold on here a second. Cancel. I wasn't that upset, but today when I got home and I had some free time. I really wanted to go down to the Gannaresca and do some float fishing, and you can't. Like, that's when it sunk into me today. You can't go.
Okay, so did you go down there today? Did you at least do a drive-by or anything?
I did, and there was no cars anywhere.
Really, eh?
No.
So being a Monday, even.
Yeah, we're gonna get into this in a second, but they did well.
Yeah. Don't forget, there's still lots of places to go and fish. Like there was lots of guys that got out this weekend. And from what I hear, they did a really good job of social distancing. Everything went sweet. From what I hear there was a couple of spots that were pretty jammed, but everybody really paid attention to the parameters set out by our government there. So I think all in all, it was a success.
Good. Pat yourself on the back there, guys and girls. I didn't hear anything crazy from the news or anything like that, so I think we passed that test, guys. Well done. Well done.
In the second half of the show, we're going to get deeper into this conversation and how this is going to how it should affect opening of boat launches that English did so well. I think we shocked everybody over the weekend by guys not going and guys who did social distance.
Yeah. You know, I didn't see any negative stuff on Facebook. Now, my friends probably wouldn't put the negative stuff on it. It's, you know, it's not people on my Facebook that would do that, but I never saw anything.
No, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
Everybody did a great job. We're going to get deeper into that. Woody, did our guests hook us up yet? Are they in there?
Yeah, we've got Jim standing by.
Did Brandon hook it up?
Haven't seen Brandon pop in yet.
Brandon will be here in a minute, I'm sure. I sent him the new link since the old one got kicked out. But let's set the show up for everybody tonight. We are going to have Jim Van Ryn of VXR Fishing, which is Rod Glove, Xzone Lures, and the poster boy for Xzone Lures, Mr. Brandon Palunik himself, to talk about what it's like to be an owner, but what it's like to be the head honcho on the angling side as well.
And everything in between.
Yeah, how often is it you get a show like this where you get a company and you also get their pro?
Yeah, never.
Together. Yeah, no, I'm really looking forward. I got some questions that I'm going to fire away tonight, and yeah, I'm really looking forward to this conversation we're going to have with these guys.
You know, the funny part is,
we've had Brandon on a bunch before too, right? He's a good guy. He's a really good
great
guest. I think the guy, everybody watching really likes him, so I think we're going to get some pretty big numbers tonight.
You know, the funny thing
watching.
is, some of my best friends, Steve Balzan, shout out to Steve, just called my phone, and he's now watching the show.
You got to get new friends, man.
He just messaged me again. Hey, he just messaged me again.
I want to give a shout out to Justin Beckett. He's watching right now, and he's getting all my lead ready for me for walleye season this year.
Dude, he's already drawing me off some jig heads. I see. He says he's watching it on his big screen TV. If I knew that, I would have cut my nose hairs. You know, trimmed them back a little bit. How's that, Justin?
While we're waiting for Brandon, I want to give a shout out to Gavin at Full Draw Outdoors for hooking Sean and I up with hats.
Yeah, that's a sick hat. It's got my name on the side and everything. And he's done really well the last couple of days since Turkey's open now, taking guys out for their first birds. You know,
yeah, you missed the guy with the hat, pal. Look at my hat. See this?
What does it say?
Cool hat. It was a fundraiser for the Toronto Police. It's a really nice hat. So I got two friends that are both on the force. So I got a hat when they had them for sale. I thought it was really cool.
Super cool.
Went to some kind of charity, I believe.
Woody, when Mr. Palaniuk joins us, just let us know and we'll get rolling on that.
Yeah, will do.
I just sent him another text message. He's a busy man. Think about how many shows a year Brandon does.
Oh, I believe it.
He's got a camera in front of his face a lot, eh?
Yeah, for sure.
And he's not even a movie star.
I don't know if I could handle that all the time. You know what I mean? I really don't. I don't think I could do the camera thing nonstop, looking for content like you do, Ian, and then like Brandon does, and try to stay on top of a YouTube channel and all the social media platforms you're on. I really don't have the patience for it.
It's hard. It's stressful sometimes trying to come up with creative content, stuff that's good, and you got to kind of trial and error sometimes, and some are duds and some are studs.
Yeah, I really enjoy doing this show, though. You know, I've got to meet a lot of people through this, and you know, a lot of smaller companies I've made really good relationships with.
Yeah, like it's good. Sometimes it's just stressful. I got on the level of Brandon too. The eyes watching, you can't screw up. Like you know what I mean. There's no room for error or mistakes. There's a lot on the line.
I would never be able to do this, guys. You know what? You know what mine would be if I did something? It'd be a cassette that came in your mail every month by post, and that's how techie I am.
You know what's funny? Go ahead.
What's that? While we're sitting here, I got a couple of announcements I want to get out there. The Spring Fishing and Boat Show this year, they're actually putting on. You all know how the Salmon Derby was canceled. Well, the Spring Fishing and Boat Show is now doing the Great Salmon Hunt If you want more information on the Great Salmon Hunt, go to the Great Salmon Hunt Facebook page right now. Give that a like. They'll give you updates. They're going to have a website up and running, and I imagine in the next week or so here. The Great Salmon Hunt is going to run from August 1st until Labor Day, and they're projecting $10,000 a week in prize giveaways. So that's something super cool, and it's going to run all the same rules are going to apply as the Salmon Derby rules. It's basically the same setup, just new people running the deal.
So that usually goes about a month, right? Don't they usually start that in May?
I'm not sure when it goes. I've never been a part of it, but this year I'm going to be keeping an eye on it for sure.
I would imagine it would go opener until Labor Day normally. I think, like the Great Salmon, or not the other salmon
sure.
ones. Yeah,
Ian, you've been part of the Salmon Derby, no?
I have. Back in the olden days.
Any high scores to talk about?
I think I got 8th place one week a long time ago. It was like 28 or 29 pound Chinook.
Wow.
Did you get anything for 8th?
I honestly don't remember. It so long ago. That had to be 17 years ago.
I'd say no, because you would remember if you got something.
Oh, for
you guys
sure.
want to know something else? What's going on tonight?
Yeah.
So the Competitive Sport Fishing League, they're better known as the CSFL, they initiated a meeting to be held, a virtual meeting to be held tonight for some of the different other tournament organizations like Renegade, CBAF, and OBN. They're going to have a meeting tonight. They're all going to talk about what they're going to do this year for tournaments, how they're going to roll out, the dates they're all going to roll out on, and how they're going to do their weigh-in procedures. So expect from those guys probably an announcement within the next week or so to come out. I'm looking forward to that.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah,
Let me make a
that is pretty cool.
suggestion to these tournament guys. If they're at the table tonight, I got a suggestion. Why don't we have one big, a true Canada Classic? So different series, they bring, send 10, 15 angler teams or whatever, and then we get together and have a true Ontario Classic, I guess you would.
Yeah, their top 10 teams, their top 10 teams, top 10 teams. That'd be a crazy
That'd be
deal.
pretty cool.
That would be cool.
Yeah,
Something
that would be
Fall
like
and St.
a
Lawrence.
World Series.
Yeah, you
Right?
could actually call them Ontario champion, or if get those Shubadakity guys, get the West Coast guys, make it a Canadian champion.
I just got a message from Brandon saying he's trying to log on to the Zoom.
Did he
I
get
don't
the
know
new? Did he
I
get
send
the new
him
Zoom?
the new link.
Good deal.
Yes. I'm sure he'll be here momentarily. Yeah. So what's up? This kind of set as a raw.
Well, I got to do something cool last week.
What'd you do?
Well, last Tuesday, there's a young guy out there fishing with Andrew. He started a little podcast and asked me to be a guest. It was the first time that I would think I was ever a guest solo on anything like that. I had to talk he asked me to talk for half an hour. I was kind of nervous not having you guys there to help me carry the flow, right?
Yep.
And we ended up talking for an hour. You guys all watched, and you loaded me up with some questions, helped me out there a little bit. I really appreciate that. But
You did
big
well,
shout out
buddy. You
to
did
Andrew.
really, really well.
Yeah. He's got a big guest this week coming up. Are we going to let that cat out of the bag? Hey?
Yeah, we can let that out.
Yeah?
Hold on, I might have sent Brandon the wrong information.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, I'm awesome.
And that's the kind of leadership we have here, folks.
That's right.
And that said, FearFishing Zone Ian West is going to be the guest for tomorrow night. So make sure you check out Fishing with Andrew and log on there for all your questions, personal questions for Ian, anything funny, anything crazy. We'd like to light that podcast up for a night for him.
Yeah, I can't wait to do it tomorrow night. I'm really excited to join Andrew and answer some questions. It's not very often as like the host of this that I get like one-on-one question and answers. So I'm excited.
And we all talked about this. He's a young guy just starting out. He's got this little podcast. And when he asked us, we all talked about it. We were like, why wouldn't we do this?
For sure.
And Ian, you were like gung ho for it. You're like, we have to do this. Like this is important for fishing.
Well, the other thing is too is that when I got started doing podcasts and interviews and stuff, people didn't have to do my show.
No.
And they did. Scott Martin
Hey,
did it,
Ian.
Mike Iaconelli, Brandon.
Right.
Do you feel bad that Sean got asked before you did?
No.
No.
I was just a warm up.
Yeah.
We're ready to
Right.
go when you guys are.
Oh, yeah, we're ready. Bring them on, Woody. The boys. That's my bad. I sent Brandon the wrong link. Fired as executive producer.
They're just loading in. Stand
No
by.
problem. Stand by. They're coming.
All right.
See Jim.
Can you?
Yeah.
Good evening, gentlemen.
Brandon's not on yet. There he is.
There he is. Good evening, gentlemen.
Look at the stash.
Wow.
Can they hear us?
I don't know if they can hear us yet.
Hello.
No.
Hello.
I can.
Jim's mic isn't up yet.
Oh, Jim's mic. We're just waiting on Jim's mic. Brandon, what's with the stash, dude?
I'm just, getting the best of me in this hard times.
That's amazing.
Saving on razors.
Yeah.
That's awesome, dude.
Yep. Just saving a little money. Weather's heating, my beard is getting a little hot.
Do you got like a bet going with somebody to grow that thing out? Like, what's the story behind that?
No, literally just got bored one day and I was going to play a joke and then realized that I can't undo the joke. And so it just has kind of stuck.
Jim can hear us now. Jim, how are you?
Yeah, I'm here, man. I can hear you. So doing good. How you doing?
I'm doing a lot better than Mr. Palaniuk and that mustache.
Come on.
Come on.
I love it.
I love it too.
Yeah, that's for real.
McDonald going there.
We tried to get a good looking pro, but there were none left, so we had to get that. We had to get Palaniuk.
Oh,
Can we
that's
see
amazing.
something in the near future, Jim, that no facial hairs allowed on your anglers that you sponsor?
I don't know. I don't know. Come contract negotiation time, we'll have to talk.
Oh, that's amazing.
Brandon, do you think you're going to lose any miles per hour as you're ripping down the lake in that speeder with the wind going through that stash this year?
I actually gained 0.4 miles an hour. I tested it.
Getting rid of the beard.
Because it took it off the sides, right? I lost the beard off the sides, so I'm slicker on the sides. And this just kind of creates a nice flow.
I like it. I do. I like it. It's growing on
I do
me.
too.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see Brandon on a billboard with that mustache. I can hear the giggling.
Very stoic.
So, before, we all know how Brandon got into fishing. Jim, you are the owner of VRX Fishing.
Yeah.
How did you get into fishing? How did you, way back when, how did this adventure for you start?
Well, if we go way back, just into fishing itself, that would have been, just being on holidays with my parents and stopping off at a creek, being at the cottage, throwing a line in. So, from a very early age. And then through my teen years, I didn't do a whole lot of it. But then in my late teens, early 20s, really got back into it big time. And then we just kind of fell into this business that we're in today. So.
Well, that's the interesting part for anybody who doesn't know. Can you explain the business?
Yeah, I work for an irrigation automation company. And of course, the material, the expandable mesh that makes the rod gloves is, it's normally used for cabling, right? So you put cables through it and holds it all together and all the rest. And we had an installation that had gone bad, and my guys were cutting it up out back, and I said, hey, just save me a few pieces of that kind of stuff. I want to put it on my rods to keep them from tangling. So they did. They saved me a couple 6-7 foot pieces, and took them home, put a little tie wrap on the end, slid them over my rods, and brought them to the next Bass Club meeting. And then some of the guys in the CBAF Hamilton Club said, hey, make me some of those. Next thing you know, you got a business. So that's been about 10 years now, since we've had the rod glove. So from really, when I say it literally fell into my lap, it did.
Yeah, that's great. Because I know that you're the Rod Glove is probably the original one I can remember. I'm not sure if it was ever done anywhere else, but see, you're like, you invented a product that everybody's using now.
Yeah, no, it's pretty humbling actually. It just kept continuing to grow, right? It kind of starts off with something you're doing in your kitchen, and maybe somebody will buy one. To now being in 20 different countries and 1,500 retail locations, and
Wow.
Yeah,
Well
it's an
done.
ingenious idea. Like I have one behind me in the corner, and I was looking the other day, and I thought, how simple but great of an idea. McCall and I had a whole conversation about them today. How when I was a teenager, you had your float rod, and to protect your float rod, you got like a silk case, but you had to take your reel off, you had to take your float off, you had to retie everything. And now, like, it just seems so. I don't know how my live wells would survive, or my Daiwa rods and reels would survive a season without Rod Glove.
yeah,
it's a true game changer.
And simple, like it's almost like, why? Do you know what I mean?
yeah, no, that's right. So simple is the thing that makes it easy. What makes the business difficult, of course, is um, staying on top, staying ahead of the curve all the time. And so we were we were pretty blessed in the beginning to be able to work with Gerald Swindle. He really legitimized that brand for us early on. So we owe a huge debt of gratitude to him, because at the end of the day, something that's simple, anybody can do it. Now there's like 30 different guys making these things, but that's where the marketing aspect of it comes in to be so important, right? It's that branding. And so we've been able to work with a lot of great anglers over the years, and now Brandon's on with us, and he just lends even more credibility to the brand. So it's good.
Anybody who's got a mustache like that's got credibility.
Yeah.
You better, or else you're not going to survive.
Jim, I got a question for you. How many Rod Gloves a year do you estimate sell?
Probably, yeah, somewhere between 250,000, 300,000.
Oh my goodness, good for you, buddy. Good for you.
In the big scheme of things, you've like, how many rods have you saved?
Oh, I don't know, but
millions and millions and millions.
Really, it's who knows, right? They may put it on my my tombstone when I die, some sort of like I don't know.
Now, you the other big brand that you brought back to the market is Xzone lures. I don't know if Brandon knows this, but the Slammer is a very iconic Canadian drop shot bait. I had Slammers.
The biggest.
Like the first time I ever heard about a drop shot rig, I got a Slammer at the same time, and I was totally against the idea of drop shotting. And then I used them, and then it was like crack, like I had to have them.
Yeah, no, I know.
Yeah,
no, the of course Mark Kulik started it, and Mark Kulik he's a great bait creator. I mean, his swammer is unique. The Slammer, of course, which has gone on to win a lot of tournaments up in the Northeast, Midwest, and in Ontario and Quebec. He really started it, and that's been a great design. Still continues to sell super today. So yeah, and I think Mark started that probably about 12 years ago. We've owned it for about 5 years now. And so quickly we saw that while the Slammer is a great bait, and its hand pour is one of its features that makes it so great. But it's very tough to scale a business that is hand pour.
Yes.
So, because 1 out of every 10 people can do it right. So you have a resource nightmare trying to produce this while you're scaling the business. So that's why we started the Pro Series, which of course is all machine injected, and that's where we are today.
Now, we're talking from, we're actually having Zoom technical difficulties. At some point, Woody will come in and tell us what we're going to do. But how did you and Brandon get together? How did that all come along? You were.
Yeah, you know what? I'm guessing it was probably right around this time last year. I shot Brandon over an email, and I just introduced myself, and because I always figure, man, if you don't ask, you don't know. And so he emailed me back right away, as he's famous for doing. He responds to people, and he's a great guy in that way. And we just kind of bounced back emails back and forth like once a month for a few months, I think, before we really got down to talking. And
wow, so you guys really connected for like 7 or 8 months before, like, Brandon, correct me if I'm wrong, but you came out January 1st with your big announcement that you were with Xzone, right?
Yeah, it was a process, because I don't take it lightly, like when I make a change. And I want to know that where I'm going, not only is the product awesome, but I want to know who the people are and what they're about and how they go about business. And so it's like a vetting process for me of, getting to understand the ins and outs. And that was really the big kicker for me, is that Jim kind of opened everything up and laid it out there and allowed me to really see kind of all sides of it, where I could dive in and really feel like I was a part of the company. And that's the big difference maker for me, right? Is because then you get to see and you really get to understand not only how great the product is, but how great the people are that make those products and that build that company up. And that was something that, after I thought about it a lot, I was like, man, I want to be a part of this, right? I want to help grow this. It's already a phenomenal company. It's got great branding, phenomenal products, and they've got iconic products like the Slammer that across the North. And if you're a smallmouth guru guy, like, about the Slammer, but then they've got a ton of other products that are just as good, that just haven't got the notoriety yet, or I guess not enough people have fished them, because now I'm seeing it with the Swammer. Like, I didn't know how good the Swammer was until I started fishing with it, like last fall, and realized that it's amazing and it's a special bait, and it's just continued to catch on, and I've learned how to fish it in different ways. And it's been really cool to see the growth of some of those baits, like as the season moves on and different parts of the country. It's been really neat to see and be able to be a part of that, right? Like, I like to be included in companies and feel like I'm actually doing my job that I should do, right? Like, I don't want to just collect a paycheck or just have a logo on my jersey and call it good. I want to actually be involved, and that's what Jim has really allowed me to do. And we work great together. I mean, I don't know how many times, like at night, I think we both have a bad habit of forgetting what time it is at night, and we'll just text each other like bait ideas,
relate.
colors and stuff. And
here's the big question.
Yeah.
Here's the big question that we'd all been talking about between ourselves. If Brandon, let's say you have an idea on the water of a bait you want to come up with, colors, and how does it go from your brain to Jim's process to us seeing it on the water, like being able to purchase it? What is the whole process that you guys are working on to get stuff from what Brandon is using to Xzone product?
You should
really
hold that.
Yeah,
should
I was just
reboot,
going to
come
say
back
that.
from a
That's a
break.
huge
Okay.
question.
Yeah.
We're gonna get kicked off here soon. So
Yeah.
we can hold off on that one.
Hold off, and we'll be back in just a few moments.
Yeah. I'll send you guys the links. Thanks, boys.
Perfect.
All right.
What up,
We'll be
Bomber?
right back, guys.
Thanks. We'll be right back.
So yeah, people at home can't hear that right now. So